Were you ever incredibly disappointed when your father didn't stand up to your mother for you? Did you think he was weak, or did you silently just feel angry with him? Here are 5 signs your dad is an enabler and why he can't help himself. Number 1. Dad always agrees with you, yet. Your dad is your big ally, right? When your mother accuses you of not listening, not staying on topic, or just plain being difficult, you start doubting yourself. But your father puts you back on track. He reassures you that you're reasonable and that you have valid concerns. Not only does he take away your feelings of schizophrenia, he makes you feel normal once more. You're relaxed again. It's all good. Dad will sort it out. He's your buffer, your filter between you and your mum, your hero, until he's not. Number 2, Dad is a diplomat, a negotiator, a peacekeeper. If you live with your parents, your father goes upstairs after discussing the argument with you, or he goes home or just hangs up the phone. He's going to take up your cause and show your mother how reasonable you are, and that you do have a valid point. Your dad has asked you to stay open towards your mother's point of view, and of course you agree. All you want to do is sort this out. You're positive about the future and a renewed relationship with your mother. Your father is the best. He's a true diplomat. Number 3, Dad makes you feel guilty. When he comes back downstairs or phones you or comes over, he begins to say how upset your mother is and how awful she feels. You think, okay, but I feel awful too. He goes on to say that your mom's blood pressure has skyrocketed again and she started feeling lightheaded. You get kind of angry and tell him you're upset too. All you want to do is work this out. Make it so you understand each other. It's a compromise and you're willing to admit your share in this. Yes, he agrees, the diplomat he is, playing both sides. But your mother doesn't need the stress right now. Well, neither do I, you say. So let's work it out. Your mom really only has your best in mind, he says. Dad continues to plead with you to understand and just let it go. It's best for mom's health. At this point, you give up. You just feel guilty and can't be bothered to get back into the issue. What was the issue again? Not worth it, you think, if this makes mom so upset. The struggle continues. Number 4, Dad apologizes over and over again to your mother. Unfortunately for your father, he's rocked the boat, taking up your cause, and is now out of favor with your mom. He tried to plead your case, tried to get some agreement, tried to negotiate a give and take, but he can see where it's going and envisions the proverbial doghouse. It's no longer about the take part of give and take. It's about giving, giving, and giving in to your mother. Perhaps you witnessed this scenario when you lived at home. Dad trying to apologize to Mum, saying he was sorry over and over again, trying to hug her while she stood there with her arms at her side, looking over his shoulder with contempt. This happened a few times a day, stretching into days, even weeks in a row. Only when your mother was good and ready, likely needing something from your father, a ride to the doctor, or some maintenance around the house, did she allow him back into her graces. Does your mother ever give your father a warm, sincere hug, saying she's sorry too and just wants things to be better? Narcissistic mothers just start talking to their husbands again, and your poor father is so grateful. He's no longer being ignored. He just thanks his lucky stars the solitary confinement is over. Number 5, Dad says he finally understands where your mom is coming from. Time goes by, all appears relatively well, but your dealings with your mother are catching up to you. Work isn't going well, your partner complains you're out in la la land, the proverbial straw and camel's back. You decide to get some support in the form of books, counseling, or serious therapy. You read and are told you're not such a horrible adult child. You're actually mindful, thoughtful, considerate, and compassionate, yet you're not entirely convinced of this, having been brainwashed all your life into thinking the opposite. Bit by bit, you realize the issue lies with your mother, the one whose opinion you once held in high esteem. You're taught to cope and handle situations differently. You finally feel better. Until you share these feelings with your father. You try to recruit him to the home team. Make him see he doesn't have to put up with your mother's, his wife's behavior. But he just says he finally understands her. He realizes how her youth has made her the way she is. She just needs to be understood. With total exasperation, you realize, and say so, that he's been completely brainwashed. In the way of Star Trek's enemy, the Borg, he has been assimilated. He and your mother are now one. In conclusion, your father cannot help himself. The most upsetting thing in all this is that you've lost your ally and real father. It's as if you're going to his funeral and he's not even dead yet. You may not realize it, but your dad's been having long discussions with himself for years. Should he leave his wife? Should he stay for the kids? Was he in the wrong? All the time? His continued self-questioning has made him a different person, a person you don't like. While you couldn't stand up to your mother as a child, you always expected your father to protect you. In this, he's failed to live up to that. Appreciate that your father is as human as you are, looking for approval, not able to extricate himself from his wife's criticism. At this point, it's just easier to live with her. He's getting older and doesn't have the stamina for a constant battle. You've left the coop. He's still doing time with her, 24/7. And while this may seem like a bed he made for himself, he may be a victim of accumulated abuse. A mother he couldn't stand up to, sisters who were just being girls but kinda mean anyways, and a wife who's worn him down over the years. He still loves you in a truly genuine way, the way your mother never could. Feel for him, don't judge him. Understand he's simply tired of battling life with your mother. Give him a hug and tell him you understand him. You may not have a long time left to do so. To all of you sons and daughters of narcissistic mothers, life is short. Don't spend much or any of it with people who don't make you happy.